Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Ritual League 3.13. In this episode, I want to go over from the ground up, from poor to rich, how you guys, all these farming methods, how you guys can go from the ground up, from just starting maps all the way up to the best farming methods, including 100% Delirious. And I tiered them in order of progression and difficulty, and how easy they are, and probably also how much money you make from them. Similar, okay? Some of them actually might be the easiest and also the best money maker, and so it's not always based on difficulty to make the most money, and so some of the easiest things can make the most money. And so let's get into it. We'll start with the beginning. So it all starts with you finish the campaign and you're at maps. Where do maps start? Well, to be honest, you have to start all over. You have no awakening level, none of the Maven stuff done, none of the Atlas completion, and you're back at the beginning. So you have to start with doing maps. You can alch maps if you have some currency, and I would probably recommend it at this point in the league. And you could even invest a little bit more with like some scarabs, some rusted breach, rusted bestiary, rusted cartography for 20% more maps, or rusted elder. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but it's like half a chaos per. They're less than a chaos per, right? So that's pretty strong. And then I pretty much just recommend you completing your Atlas up to a certain point of like probably Awakening 5 and some Maven, to do Maven, you just have to do 10 different maps in the region and then do the Maven invitation that you get. And that'll unlock these Atlas passives. And so you have to do it 5 times. And then it increases the amount that you have to do. It doesn't start at 10. Yeah. So it's actually not that hard to unlock the Atlas passives. And then the most ridiculous early Atlas passive probably for a league starter, for somebody with nothing, is the garden harvest nodes. So basically, while you're mapping, these 2 regions are going to be your favorite, because it doesn't really matter what build you are, you're going to be able to do the harvest. It's like the easiest thing. And then you can get actual garden, and then the harvest. So if you don't know, there's a Discord. So there's a TFT Discord, the Forbidden Trove Discord. I'll have a link in the description below, an invitation to it, and you can join it, and then you can sell crafts if you're trustworthy and you don't scam, and then you can build up vouches and get ranks, and it helps you with trading. So you could even boost the server with your Nitro or whatever, Discord Nitro, I think I saw that, and somebody had a purple nim, and it was like, wow, that's kind of broken, but like if you had that, but I don't. So then target harvest. Now while you're doing all this, you also would be getting heist contracts. You could also target this area technically for heist. I don't really recommend it. You could target it for heist and blight. It's not that bad in the beginning. Lyra Arthane in the beginning is pretty good. I also run the Zana watchstones over here, because you can't really juice the blight or the smuggler's caches. So this is just a run and do it, and do this Atlas additional Zanas there if you want to, instead of finding harvest, which is obviously worse. You would just want to find harvest. This is the game right now, basically. And so harvest is core. And then let's say you want the more advanced version of harvest. So you have to either you do this yourself or you get carried. So probably if you're trying to do this early, you would get carried. So let's say you get the Shaper Guardians carried for you, and then the Elder Guardians, and you get these invitations done, the Formed and the Twisted. You could unlock Master of the Atlas and Paths Not Taken to have Zana missions in areas have additional maps that can appear in the map options. Zana missions in areas have double the base number of map options. So huge amount of extra maps offered in the Zana. So then you run Zana, and you can run it in any area really, but I'd recommend it obviously in the harvest area, Haywork. And you can get +1 additional map option offered by Zana, so 4, or you can get the +2, which is 10 times more rare for only double the power. It's not worth it unless you can afford it. So +2 to the Zana, and then we get offered like 16 to 24 maps every map, and you're getting a harvest every like 1 to 3 maps on T14. I highly recommend T14. In Haywork, I run Cemetery. I like Cemetery a lot. In this area for Lyra, I have the +2s as well, and I run Toxic Sewer. I really like Toxic Sewer for another T14, and I bounce back and forth, and then we're back up to 67 zonas. So that's just the harvest part. That's just the zona part. Next is Heist. So I have a whole video. I have a whole video this season on how to do Heist, and Heist made easy. But basically, after doing all the leveling up of your crew, because you don't really have a choice. Just the higher level the contract, the more XP it gives. So 80 to 83 is preferred, and the higher level the skill, the higher XP too, I believe, and better rewards. So you want to level up your people so you can do the higher level ones, and then the higher level and the higher level, skill level and item level makes a diff. And then obviously I also made a video on getting double reveals. So if you do specifically, I do lockpicking deception only now. After I've leveled up all my crew, I just throw away the rest. And deception gives you double reveals because you use Gianna, and she gives you both Gianna and Wakano reveals. So I have a whole video on getting double reveals, and you'll realize this season after playing some Heist, you'll be like, oh, this is all about blueprints and getting reveals. And so you want to get reveals to reveal currency in these blueprints, or even split blueprints, because you can still fracture or split blueprints. They just do not keep the revealed contents, the rewards. So you have to re-reveal everything. And so you could keep a really crazy juicy base map that you keep revealing. Like I have some, actually, I have some, but I don't remember where I put them. They were like 14. Yeah, but either way, the point is that you would reveal only the currency, and then you run them and do the currency. And then the best blueprints, in my opinion, are going to be replica, to get like replica ferals, replica headhunter, or the unusual gems to target those alt quality gems. And then the trinkets are pretty cool, and I would probably still be running a 4% regal to exalt trinket even with the changes, because, well, targeting currency, and then you're still getting exalts, and you're getting a lot of exalted shards, and yeah, it's pretty good still. I'd still recommend that, highly recommend that. So then after that, I would say that the next best strategy after this is, let's say we're doing, this could have been in a easier spot earlier with less investment. By the way, I'd like to mention that just in case, because you might go, wait, I could have done this earlier. Thanks for mentioning it now, though. See, this is why it's all in a video, and it's my perception on where these things lie based on how my knowledge of them and how much I know them and how much I did them. So this is now Harbingers. You can get Ominous Arrival to get another Harbinger for free, and you can get Diplomatic Escort to get the crazy reinforcements. And so this is the really insane Harbinger node for this area. And I personally, after the nerf, so originally it was probably the craziest fucking thing. Okay, I didn't play it originally, but after the nerf, I think that this is basically only good, or only like really good, with the watchstones. And so the watchstone is auspicious, platinum, valdos, rest watchstone, which is a harbinger in areas drop rarer value currency shards. You can only run one of these, and that's the expensive one. And you can run these laden platinum valdos rest stones, 3 of them. And these have harbingers in areas have 15% chance to drop an additional stack of currency shards. So this is the big one that makes it drop juice, and that's how you get super rich off of harbingers in this area. And then I just recommend running like T15 Canyon, so I favorited it, and I just run it, and it's really easy. Alch and go, and you just target the harbinger, maybe the boss, and you leave. If the harbinger's right at the beginning of the map, I just leave. I don't even run to go kill the boss. Really easy method, really profitable, honestly. Then we have my recommended for Blight. So I already told you that you could target this area for Blight, and you could also target this area for Blight. I didn't mention that one, but I don't really recommend this. I'd recommend just running the Blight as is. Don't worry about the next level strategy, because this is going to be Harbingers until they change it. So then, you can run T14 Blight, and I put triple teal to show this is what I would put on it. T15 triple teal, you put quality chisels. Don't alch, and that this goes the same for all the other tiers, except for like, I think I'd start teal at like T11 or T13. Because you won't sustain the teal earlier than that. You could mix in some teal, but honestly, on lower tier of Blight maps, I just run clear oil, because you can actually sustain it, and it helps winning the map. Winning is pog, because you don't lose any loot. So then Blighted Barrows, so this is a T16. On T16s, you can put 2 crimson, 1 black oil. That's how I got the 20 Blight chests, and 10% for Blight chests to contain an additional reward. So, yeah, 5 more Blight chests are lucky, and 10% for an additional reward, but obviously it's 2 crimson, 1 black, so I only recommend this on Barrows, on the T16, sorry, on T16s. After, let's say you've maxed out Blight, you're shitting on all this stuff that I've already mentioned, and the game is too easy, you could try simulacrums, dude. They're really cheap as well. Just for an example, I'm up to 79 self-farm. This is not the price. I might as well take this off. They're cheap. So 79 simulacrum self-farmed. I haven't bought any, and so these are very cheap, and you could just run these. They're a little bit harder than Blight, but you move around and shit. You don't AFK, and so then they could be easier, because moving around you can dodge and you can use flash, and so maybe it's easier if you're active, which you have to be anyways. So simulacrum's pretty good, and it only really gets hard after wave like 15 to 20, and you're only going really for the unique anyways. All the extra bonus loot is, like I just said, bonus. The voices is going to carry simulacrum, so you're looking for the 1-point voices. And then, how did I, wait. Down here, yeah, I'll do this one next. Oh, I forgot to mention some prophecies you can run when you're mapping. Plague of Rats, Plague of Frogs, Bountiful Traps for the juicy map after, but now we have this. So I think I put this one later because I honestly think Legion can be somewhat hard to clear, especially it's not. So there's 2 Legion areas. There's this Legion, which is easier to clear, but it's less, like, not cool. And then there's the actual cool one. So in New Vastir, you can do cool Legion, and there are watchstones that go along with this. It's not that big of a deal, because I was doing it without it, and it's fine, but it would be better with it, okay? So, the thing is, New Vastir, and you run War Supplies, High Value Targets, Emblematic, and then you run a Legion Scarab, Rested Legion, and you run Legion on the map device, and then this, you get 2 legions, and you can maybe get another legion from the area. It's pretty cool. Like this shit can just spawn at 8% or 10% or whatever in a map normally. So you could actually get 3. It's pretty fun. And then I found this to be really good at printing exalts. I don't really know the exact money per hour, but it felt really fucking good, and it was really fun. And I'm not sure of the exact DPS you need. Expect to die a lot. It's kind of fun though. It's pretty fun. I left this as like a aftermath. Like, whoa, I kind of came to this late, but Jesus, man, this is pretty fun. But yeah, you need a lot of damage to pop them. Like a lot of damage, especially for a minion build. It's not as smooth as, that's why we avoided Legion, because we already knew. And then the real, let's say you've done all this, you fucking did my 100% delirious fucking sustaining. I forgot to mention that one. Wait, what did I write for that? I forgot one. I didn't write it down. Oh yeah, alch, polished, scarab, sextant prophecies, free delirium maps from ejoris after harbinger orbing them up to tier 16. So you can use a harbinger orb to upgrade the Delirium maps you drop in Lex Ejoris, and then you can re-roll them. After you upgrade them to tier 16, you can re-roll them over to burial chambers with horizon orbs. And then you have infinite sustaining burial chambers with Delirious that you can run in this area with extra free rewards. That's only 20% Delirious, so it's not that hard to run. And you can run Kadir Bro and get a Headhunter just like I did. Cool. Yeah, I forgot to mention that one. That was a slip. Now the final one. This is the giant one that I use for money making at the end, okay? So once I did all this and I had the build that I wanted and I was playing whatever I wanted, yeah. My favorite thing to target farm, my favorite map, my favorite region, the best juice was Scent of Blood in Glenage Cairns, Scent of Blood, Torn Veil, Cultural Advancement, Twice Tempted, Tamper Proof. And then we would run the Enraged Strongbox, 500 Quant, Hunted Trader. So you can get 600 Quant if you use the Elevated. And then we have Nemesis for currency. And we have Beyond. And we have Hunted Traders. And then this is Beyond on a +1 30% effect. Misinformation. So recommend Misinformation on this. And we run these Fractured Towers. So pretty much I have a base map, and you can use Fractured Fossils on it with Metallic to not roll Physical Reflect and Dense to not roll Cannot Regen in a 3-socket, and you get a copy of the tower map. So this tower base map is 35% quality, 30% more rare monster Nemesis mod, Fractured. I have a video on how to fracture up the base. I show the whole thing, crafting up a map all the way up from the ground up. I use currency, and that's not because I think it's the best. It's because I want to drop a mirror out of a Delirium orb, and it might also be one of the best and underrated by a lot of people, and so I kind of want to bring the light to this really cool Delirium orb. And then we have the Purifier, easy Elder Boss, and then when you copy this, it'll make like a mirrored version that you can't change. We can't alch this, we can't chaos spam it, we can't do anything. This is what it is. That's why you use those fossils. And it made a copy of all this, so it has 100% currency, Delirium Orbs, does not consume sextants, so these sextants I have rolled, they stay here, so the one with the elevated doesn't get used, and that's really important. Nemesis dropping 4, the regular one is good too, dropping 3, this carries, that's why we have the Nemesis Fractured, and that's why we have the Nemesis on the watchstones. And then for scarabs, I run Polished Divination, Polished Harbinger, Polished Ambush, and Polished Metamorph. Divination to drop more Nurses and Wretched, Harbinger for more Harbingers, and obviously Ancient Shards and X Shards, more monsters, Pog. Ambush, and it's good with Beyond. And then Ambush, the Strongbox is working with this, and they're always rare, and then they have the extra Quant, so it's really good synergy. I run an extra Prophecy for 6 additional Strongboxes in this area, Bountiful Traps, and then we run Polished Metamorph because I don't really have another good Scarab to run, and that's what I've been running, and I found this to be really profitable. And you don't need the elevated Sextant Nemesis, you can use 3, it's fine. And then Beyond, additional, and Hunted Traders. I don't like the corrupted items because I find that it's corrupting your items, and it's not worth the 6 links because you're gonna get a Headhunter. No, I'm kidding. That didn't happen to me. I bricked a Headhunter. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this overall big as fuck guide to money making. I didn't include some things, obviously, like June pure Chayulas or selling alpha temples. You can go target farm alpha really easily and go sell double corruptions. It's really fun. You have to use these Atlas passives instead. I left this as a juicing. Kept this video as simple as possible and had the linear progression all the way up from you just started the game to actually making real fucking insane money. And being able to afford real builds. Either way, thank you guys for watching my 3.13 how to make currency. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys, so thank you guys for all the support, and thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon or the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!